Lop-eared rabbits are cute and funny animals that will give their owner a lot of positive emotions. Representatives of this breed are also called rams. They got their nickname due to their massive small head with a wide forehead. In general, lop-eared rams resemble plush toys and are great as a pet for families with small children. In order for the animal to always feel good, healthy and cheerful, it needs competent care and balanced nutrition. History. Dwarf rabbits with saggy ears are relatives of a breed called the ram, which are bred for industrial purposes. Its decorative version was bred as a result of painstaking work, and no one believed in its success, since when the size of the animals was reduced, their main zest was lost, lop-earedness. But breeder Adrienne de Kock did not give up, and in 1964 a new breed of rabbits was bred, and her father presented the results to the public. There are two types of decorative rams, common fold and Dutch. There are no significant differences between them, but the Dutch are slightly smaller than their relatives. Features and characteristics. Fold rabbits weigh from 1.5 to 8 kilograms, depending on the breed. Females are slightly larger than males and have minor differences in body structure. The rest of the characteristics are as follows: cylindrical, compact body. The neck is short, turning into a massive chest. Spherical back. Big eyes. The head is wide, with a prominent forehead. The nose is short and dull. The coat is thick and dense. The main characteristic of the breed is long ears, which are turned with shells inward and fit the rabbit's muzzle on both sides, giving it a special expression. At the tips they are slightly rounded, while the bases, on the contrary, are thickened. The color of lop-eared rams can be different. Chinchilla, fawn and reddish individuals predominate, but other colors can also be found. Personality. The nature of the lop-eared rams is calm and friendly. At first, they can behave cautiously and fearfully, but then they get used to the household. They love to play and frolic. Representatives of this breed treat children well, therefore they are often given birth as a pet for small family members. They are curious and quickly explore new habitat and sometimes become attached to the owner, like dogs. It is believed that rabbits with saggy ears are less fearful precisely because of their main feature. Ears muffle sounds, and they have less effect on the animal's nervous system. How to keep. For a pet from the breed of lop-eared sheep, it is better to choose a well-lit and ventilated, warm enough room where the least number of people are. First of all, you need to remove all wires from the reach. Rabbits love to gnaw everything that gets in their way, and they can be electrocuted. And in order for the animal to feel comfortable and calm, several conditions must be met. As a toilet, you can use a regular cat litter box, preferably a corner litter box, which will not take up much space in the cage. How to tame. Taming a lop-eared ram is easy enough, but new owners will have to be patient. Little rabbits are quite proud and independent creatures, so you don't need to take them out of their comfort zone by force, but wait a bit until they get used to the new conditions. The rabbit must be immediately put in a cage and left alone. He must get acquainted with the new home and feel absolutely safe. It is best to leave the door open and wait until the pet wants to leave the house itself, although this may take more than 1 hour. You need to behave with a rabbit gently and unobtrusively. Do not make noise, do not hang over him, and do not make sudden movements. More often than not, rabbits that find themselves in a new environment huddle in a corner and sit very quietly, but some may behave agitated and even aggressive. The reason for this lies in fear or sexual arousal. In this case, you need to say a few words in a calm, affectionate tone and offer your pet some delicacy. In no case should you frighten a rabbit, make noise or grab it sharply. It will be extremely difficult to tame a frightened animal. Advice. If the rabbit is trying to bite or show aggression, you need to take it by the scruff of the neck and press it lightly to the floor. In the wild, rabbits climb onto the back of the enemy, thus demonstrating their superiority. Feeding. Lop-eared rabbits feed on hay and grain mixes, which can be purchased in stores. Young animals up to 6 months old need to be fed with special feeds containing the necessary nutrients, and fresh vegetables, fruits and other feed are allowed only after the rabbits reach 6 months of age. It is better not to store hay and grain. The best option is oats and wheat, since spoiled feed can cause serious harm to the pet's health, but replenish it as needed. Rabbits, especially small ones, should not be given meat and milk. These products are absolutely not suitable for feeding lop-eared rams and can ruin digestion. In addition, you need to purchase a stone made of minerals and attach it to the rods so that animals can chew on it, as well as provide them with fresh water. It should not be fresh, taken from the water supply system, but settled throughout the day. Care. It is quite simple to care for lop-eared pets. You need to regularly clean the cage, remove food debris, wash the feeder and drinker once a week, lightly comb the fur so that there are no tangles on it. 3 times a week you should clean the ears of the animals and rinse the eyes, and once every 1.5 months, trim the claws. You need to bathe pets only as needed. After hygiene procedures, they are wrapped in a towel and kept away from drafts until they dry out. Lop-eared rabbits are playful and funny animals. Keeping them in a cage increases the risk of obesity and other diseases, so they need to be given free rein for at least 2 hours a day. They love to jump on hills, run through tunnels, gnaw on tier paper, chase balls and other objects, and dig holes. You can purchase special designs in the form of labyrinths, houses and other toys, as well as use paper without printing ink. Attention. It is better for the owner of a fluffy animal to spend money on toys. If the baby gets bored, he will definitely start tearing up and gnawing everything that gets in his way. Buying tips: do not buy rabbits from unverified sellers. There is a high probability that the animal will be sick. It is best to buy pets from experienced breeders who can tell you about the future pet's pedigree and possible genetic diseases of its parents. The selected ram must be carefully examined, paying attention to the following: clean, shiny eyes, the nose is cold and moist, smooth and shiny coat, activity and interest in the surrounding world. A matted, ragged coat and constant scratching may indicate the presence of parasites, and a receding hairline may indicate lichen. A sagging belly resembling an empty sac, clouded sclera and protruding bones indicate diseases of the internal organs. If the animal constantly licks the anus and wants to sit backwards on the floor, most likely it has worms. With proper care of a lop-eared ram, he will become an excellent pet and best friend for all household members, and communication with him will become a source of positive emotions. Price of the whistle-ear rabbit of the Baron. The cost of a rabbit of a dwarf lop-eared ram depends on several parameters, but in general it is somewhat cheaper than for smaller varieties of decorative rabbits, since it is easier to breed and there are more rabbits in the litter. Show class. Animals close to the ideal breed are called show class. They are the most expensive. They should have a standard color and a regular compact build with a nice round and wide head and nice wide ears, which are located just behind the rabbit's eyes. On the top of the head, at the base of the ears, there is a so-called crown. It should be wide and convex. Breed class. Dwarf rams of the breed class are animals that have various disadvantages, but they are acceptable in the breed. For example, the maximum weight for the breed, a narrower head, a slightly incorrectly positioned crown and ears on the head, a longer body, flaws in color, etc. But these animals can and should be used in breeding, as they can give offspring of the show class. Such animals have a price slightly lower than that of the show class. Pet class. The lowest price belongs to the pet class rabbits. A pet is a pet, that is, not suitable for breeding in the breed. They may have an unrecognized color or faults that are unacceptable in the breed. For example, a narrow long head, thin, misaligned ears, lack of a crown, an irregular body type, larger size. However, they can be absolutely healthy. The price of a lop-eared ram of a rare color may be higher than that of animals with a common color, although the quality may be lower. For example, the rare colors include cheetah, blue Siamese, blue martyr, red, rena, etc. may be worth higher than normal color show class animals. Price. The average cost for a pet Holland lop rabbit is about $40, though they can range in price from $20 to $400 or more.